Welcome back to another video, people, where Erling Haaland does it again. Manchester City win against Brentford, and it is the Norwegian striker with his ninth goal of the season. Now, people that doubted Erling Haaland, where are you? People that said, he only scores goals. He's not the complete footballer. Where are you? Because what we're seeing from Erling Haaland, despite him being a little bit quiet in the second half, is we're seeing an overall striker really mold and come into his fore now. This guy is a goal scoring machine. This guy is a beast. This guy is an animal. And every team in the world would want an Erling Haaland. Why? Because he puts the ball in the back of the net consistently. And you know what it is? Every time this guy starts a season for Manchester City, he's on demon mode. He is on demon mode. I think now he's probably matched it or maybe betted it. But in the first 7 games of the season, when it was the first 5 games, Erling Haaland has still been bagging goals. But he was actually having one of his worst starts for Manchester City in terms of the season. But to anyone else, it's phenomenal. And that goes to show the standards of Erling Haaland. Now, this guy, I think I've just got to say he deserves respect, even from me. Because I've been one of them guys that's always said, if Erling Haaland isn't scoring, he isn't doing nothing. But the fact is, he does score. So whatever I say is irrelevant because this guy puts the ball in the back of the net and he gives Manchester City 3 points after 3 points after 3 points. And now already we're looking at it. 7 matches in the league, 9 goals, 1 assist. Last year, 31 games, 22 goals, 3 assists. The year before that, 31 games, 27 goals, 5 assists. The year before that, 35 games, 36 goals, 8 assists. This guy is a demon. And at the moment, he's going at more than a goal a game. So right now, we're already looking at Erling Haaland and thinking, well, he's going to get over 30 again this season. And if he does, that's his second season in 4 that he's got over 30 goals. And right now, if he stays fit, I don't see any reason why he can't get that. Because Manchester City at the moment, despite not playing the most attractive football, despite not controlling the games that we normally are used to them doing, having 70% of the ball and just dominating but looking slow in attack. Now, they seem to be a team that are adapted. And with that adaptation comes more success for Erling Haaland. So let's talk about it because the way Pep Guardiola is going about games this season, yes, against Brentford in the first half, they were dominating. There should have been 2 or 3 goals up. But then in the second half, obviously, they reverted back to type where they sunk in a little bit. They sat a bit more deeper, allowed Brentford to have more of the ball, but they're able to defend, get the clean sheet, and move on with Gavardia and Diaz solid at the back. But what we've seen throughout the games this season so far is Manchester City are not dominating the ball like they normally would. We've seen Tottenham have more of the ball against them. We've seen, Manchester United have more of the ball against them. You're looking at games that Manchester City have had so far this season. Arsenal, they had more of the ball against Manchester City, which is something we're not really used to. However, what Manchester City are then doing is being quick in attack, quick in transition. You've got Phil Foden, you've got Jeremy Doku. And I think them two, even though Doku didn't start, have played an instrumental part in Manchester City's success this season, but also for Erling Haaland, because what you're getting from Phil Foden and Jeremy Doku is that today we saw Savinho and Oscar Bob hugging their touchline, playing wide because Brentford play with more of a back 5. But what we've seen in other games is Doku and Foden coming more inside, a bit more introverted, playing more so as like inside 10s rather than wingers. And what that's doing is pulling out defenders. They're dropping deep, picking up the ball, driving with it on the half turn, twisting and turning, agile, quick, subtle movements that are opening up space for people like Erling Haaland to then run into. And we're seeing him getting played in behind. We're seeing him score the amount of goals he's scoring. And right now, that little tweak is actually helping Erling Haaland because one thing we know about Erling Haaland, like I said already, is that he scores goals. But when you're dominating so much of the ball and teams are sitting deep, it's then hard to unpick the locks. It's then hard to break those teams down because Erling Haaland has potentially got 2 or 3 defenders marking him because they're like, okay, well, if we stop Erling Haaland, then Manchester City have got to produce a great shot from outside the box, or they've got to produce a moment of magic as a team to unlock us. But now City are saying, do you know what? We don't really want to do that. Now we want to try and get our best players in the positions where they can hurt teams. Let's sit back a little bit. Let's contain teams a bit. Let's be a bit more resolute at the back. Something it wasn't last season, as we saw with the form. But now what that's doing is enabling Foden, Doku, and Erling Haaland to get more space to operate in. Reinders, what a signing, by the way, allowing him to be box to box, allowing him to be the energy, allowing him to be the legs that they've needed in midfield alongside Rodri or Gonzalez or Bernardo Silva, because they missed that as well. That was an integral signing. They needed legs in midfield. We've seen how Gravenberch is the guy for Liverpool Football Club and how much it can make a difference of having a ball carrier. Look at Beleba for Brighton, players that are able to turn on a half turn and gallop and run into space and just open up the pitch. Tijani Reinders does that for Manchester City because he's able to get the ball from deep and drive with it, able to play on a half turn, able to be a ball carrier. And essentially, this is leading to Erling Haaland having already one of his most productive seasons. And I don't think it's going to stop there because Manchester City haven't fully clicked yet, but they're clicking and they're winning games. And now they're 3 points off the top of the table. And this title race is shaping out to be magnificent because you've got Liverpool, who are coming off the back of 3 defeats at the moment. Obviously, 1 in the Champions League, but 2 in the league. You've got Arsenal defensively looking great, goal difference plus 11. And you've got Manchester City, who are molding into this new way of Pep Guardiola and being a bit more defensive and hitting teams on a transition. But you've got a demon in Erling Haaland that is scoring goals in every single game. Look at the week he's had. 2 against Burnley, 2 against Monaco, 1 today against Brentford. That's 5 in the space of 7 days. This guy is relentless. And you have to say right now, he is the best striker in world football. Look, people might say Alexander Isak is in terms of the complete forward, in terms of dropping in, linking up play, dribbling with the ball, scoring goals, creativity. Lewandowski's obviously been a good player for Barcelona, but he's not in that conversation. Harry Kane is someone who's on form. Harry Kane's probably the only striker right now, along with Mbappe, that can match Erling Haaland and what he's doing. You know, them 3 at the moment are setting the world apart. Kane, Haaland, and Mbappe. They're on fire for all their clubs. And, you know, right now, it's probably a preference. If I said to you guys, who are you picking? You're going for probably what you like in a player. Harry Kane, creativity, dropping deep and can score. Erling Haaland, goal scorer. Mbappe, pace, in behind, you know, can drop out into the wing, dribble with it. But he can't do the hold-up play. He's not the most physical. So it depends what you really like. But right now, when it comes to the Premier League, I'm sorry, but Erling Haaland is absolutely shitting on Alexander Isak right now. And I'm not trying to compare the two because one is coming back from an injury pre-season, but he still had game time for Liverpool and he's not quite firing yet with his team. But Erling Haaland, he is on demon mode. And when you look at the attackers in the Premier League, he is just levels above. And right now, he is going to be the reason that City will stay in this title race. I didn't really have City in a title race. I think Arsenal and Liverpool and I have City in third comfortably by themselves. But with what Erling Haaland's doing, the form of Liverpool, Arsenal, great squad depth. At the moment, I still have Arsenal as my favourites. But if Erling Haaland can stay fit and carry on doing what he's doing, there is no reason why Manchester City cannot be in the shake-up for this title race. Look, we know December, January, February, March are critical months. Champions League gets a bit grittier. You got the FA Cup. You know, squad depth will be tested. What if Haaland gets injured? Can Marmoush, Doku, Foden, and them type of players step up? I don't know if they can do what Erling Haaland does because not many can. But if Erling Haaland can stay fit, Pep can use him correctly, this guy is on course for one of his best seasons at Manchester City. And I think it's because Erling Haaland's rested, he's rejuvenated, he's coming fresh again. But also the way Manchester City are playing is now suiting Erling Haaland. Less domination, less teams sitting back and just having them to try and unlock and unpick the door. Now they're getting more moments in transition, more space to operate in. And this is when Erling Haaland can be on demon mode. And right now, he is a phenomenal start to the season for Norwegian. 25 years of age, coming into his peak, 9 goals, 1 assist in 7 games. And today he was the difference in a tough game away at Brentford, who always make it tough, who always make it tricky. And you want to just get into them games away from home and win them. They're the type of games that in your title race, whether it's game week 1, 7, 35, you can slip up in, you can draw that type of game. Brentford make it gritty, they make it doggish. And today, City remained resolute at the back, strong at the back. Diaz, Gvardiol, Nico Riley, Matthias Nunes, Gonzalez doing a job when Rodri came off. You know, City is showing that solidarity, you know, sticking together, grinding out results. And these are the bigger results than winning them games at home to Burnley's, where everyone says, yeah, you tick that off the list. You should be winning that. These are the type of games that you go to Brentford away and you're thinking potential banana skin. You know, Liverpool, Arsenal fans looking at it thinking, oh, what if Brentford get one here? Could be 2 points dropped. Well, they didn't do that. Manchester City remained professional. Doku coming on, Foden keeping the ball ticking over in the last 5-10 minutes. They didn't give any clear-cut chances away to Brentford apart from one. And Donnarumma rose big, which is the reason he was brought in for. A big keeper, Schmeichel 1v1. That was the only sniff Brentford got, but it can change games. That is a big wing for Manchester City going into the international break and now being closer to Arsenal and Liverpool in terms of obviously the title race so far. This is warming up to be brilliant. But Erling Haaland right now, a striker on demon mode. He is unstoppable. Guys, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. He is a man on a mission.